Welcome to the 20% podcast. This is me, Aiden, and James King, and we're going to be
Hello.
talking about abortion and reproductive rights, Roe v. Wade and Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization today.
hmm
So do you want to start
So,
off?
yeah, what even are reproductive rights? Well, reproductive rights are the rights of women to control and make decisions relating to reproduction and childbearing, especially with regard to contraception and abortion.
Uh, a solid landmark case overall was the case of Roe v. Wade, which is a fundamental case for women's rights and reproductive rights, mostly regarding the practice of abortion. The case
hmm
was between two characters, Jane Roe and Henry Wade. Jane Roe is an alias for a woman named Norma McCorvey, a poor pregnant woman, and Wade is a district attorney of Dallas County in Texas. Roe's lawyers were Linda Coffey and Sarah Weddington. Roe and her team challenged Texan law as a part of a test case. The arguments were based around the fundamental rights of women and how these rights were secured by the 14th and as well as the Ninth Amendment particularly.
Yeah, and in the majority of the opinion from the court during the cases, they stated that it is a woman's right to control her own pregnancy, or that a woman's right to control her own pregnancy is encompassed by the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment and the 19th Amendment, or not the 19th, the Ninth Amendment. Sorry.
It's all
This
right.
so the case of Roe v. Wade has protected the right to get abortions for the last about 49 years and helped to protect the rights of women in this country in regard to their own health and rights.
Oh,
So
you want to go?
yeah,
Okay.
uh, as abortion has been challenged for many years by the pro-life movement, or abortion has been challenged by many years by the pro-life movement. The pro-life movement is a movement that's supported by many states, mostly dominated by Republican leadership. In a lot of these states, they uh, they add many laws that will, prevent abortions and whatnot. Specifically by adding time spans in like weeks and whatnot, or trimesters in a woman's pregnancy. In which case, in those cases where she may not receive an abortion. Um, yeah,
The movement overall just generally seeks to prevent abortions from happening in the first place, you'd say, right? Like with
yeah,
no regard to any medical conditions, if we're going by textbook definition.
by a textbook definition, yes.
By practical definition and how they treat the states, of course. Well,
hmm
in 2018, for some background on Dobbs versus Women's Health Organization, which is the case that overturned the precedent set in Roe v. Wade. Um, well, the in 2018, Mississippi passed a law called the Gestational Age Act, which prohibited all abortions with a few exceptions after 15 weeks gestational age. Jackson's Women's Health Organization, the only licensed abortion facility in Mississippi, and one of its doctors filed a lawsuit in a federal district court challenging the law and requesting emergency temporary restraining order or TRO. After hearing, after a hearing, the district court granted the TRO with while the litigation proceeded to discovery. After discovery, the district court granted the clinic's motion for summary judgment and enjoined Mississippi from enforcing the law, finding that the state had not provided enough evidence that a fetus would be viable at 15 weeks, and the Supreme Court precedent prohibits states from banning abortions prior to viability. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit affirmed.
Uh, yes, and the Constitution does not confer the right to an abortion, according to that. Roe v. Wade
But then
and
you
Planned
got
Parenthood v. Southeastern PA v. Casey. They have
505
been
U.S. 833 are overruled.
mhm,
Mhm.
by in Justice Samuel Alito Authord by the majority opinion of the court.
Overall,
The
you want to talk about it, or you want
Yeah,
me to go?
sorry. The Constitution also does not mention abortion as a right, as it is not. Neither deeply rooted in the nation's history nor an essential component of the ordered liberty. The five factors that should be considered in deciding whether a precedent should be overruled to support the uh, overruling of Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood v. Casey, they are short-circuited. They short-circuited the democratic process. They both lacked grounding in constitutional context, history, or precedent. Three, the tests they established were not workable. Uh, Also, they caused distortion of law in other areas. And five, overruling them would not upend concrete reliance uh, and interest. And this is from the Dobbs v. Jackson
Uh,
case on Orez.
oh
Is that
yes,
correct?
yeah. Wait, is that how you pronounce it? Anyways, it is the fundamental right for women to control their health. With the overturning of Dobbs v. Jackson Women Health Organization case, this right has unfortunately been denied. Many states have already taken to criminalizing the reproductive health. The criminalization of this aspect of reproductive health is detrimental to many women, but it also plays a larger impact on opening up the banning of other reproductive health rights such as birth control and other contraception. Therefore, it is imperative that this decision is reversed. This reason, the reason for this Supreme Court case being harmful to reproductive rights of women is that because the precedent being overturned gives the states the power to ban abortion outright, and the ability to ban it unconditionally was granted, and many states have followed suit. Some example of like states where it's like a trigger ban, where it's like ban is usually can be seen like through Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, states,
So,
southern states like that.
so like the
Um,
majority of the South.
some would say the South. Some states like Florida are still up for debate, or Georgia, if not yet already, probably already though.
But they haven't done it
Yeah,
yet.
something like that, but it might happen if leadership, or it might have already happened. We just might be outdated sources. So, but overall, we in our school, we in fact conducted like a public opinion poll on through various random students selected at random in the AP government class throughout
Mhm.
many periods. And we gathered around 13 responses. So 61% of the respondents, 61.5 to be exact, percent of the respondents said it should be unconditionally allowed, and the corresponding 38%, 30.8% say it should be conditionally allowed. The majority
Yes.
consensus of those, like who chose to conditionally allow it, responded that it should be used to save the life of the mother or for other circumstances such as forced contraception under assault. One respondent, or 7.7% of the respondents, said it shouldn't be allowed. However, in the follow up questions of said respondent, they mentioned that it should be allowed for the reasoning of medical reasons and medical
Mhm.
procedures. You want to take
Yes.
that?
Uh, the next, our next point.
Yeah,
Yes.
next point, the article.
According to the an article written by the University of Michigan School of Public Health, when you outlaw an abortion, pregnancy-related deaths during childbirth or within the first 6 weeks will increase. That's usually through two mechanisms. The first is that pregnancy is higher risk than abortion, especially in the United States, when we have more than double the number of maternal pregnancy related deaths compared to any other wealthy country. And in states like Michigan and Georgia, it's even worse.
Yeah, that really just proves the usefulness of like abortions overall. Like it's an effective procedure at helping women not die from childbirth, and this is an absurd overturning. It should have never occurred in the first place.
Yeah,
Uh, Even like the majority consensus in our school, like it's varied. Like it should be allowed under circumstances. Like there's people that agree that it should be circumstantial, and there's people that think it shouldn't be allowed for anything besides medical procedures,
but not fully outlawed.
but not fully outlawed. No, I feel like the pro life movement shouldn't inherently exist as it. The pro-life movement calls for the outlawing of abortion in general.
Mhm.
No medical procedures, nothing. That shouldn't be tolerated. That is not constitutional. Neither
No,
is the case of Roe v. Wade. That isn't constitutional. The Constitution doesn't mention anything about it, and because of that, it shouldn't necessarily be made
outlawed.
law outlawed. yeah, outlawed or favored. It should just be left up to like the medical health or like the circumstances
Hmm.
or other determining factors, which could be such as financial status, mental status, like maturity status even, or
Yeah.
like if they're a child, or like it shouldn't be left up to be fully being banned at all.
Hmm.
This it should not be like you get what I'm saying. It should
Yeah.
not be
And
fully done one way, but it shouldn't also be. Yeah. Did you have something to
so,
say?
yeah. Like in my opinion, I don't think it should be fully banned at all because you're telling people what to do with their body. If someone disagrees with it, it's their own opinion and they cannot do that. But
Hmm.
outlawing it for everybody would kind of be detrimental, especially to those life-threatening cases that we talked about.
Yeah, precisely. It's been seen multiple times, and now there's actually, I believe, children getting like having to go to across state lines
Mhm.
because
If something
of like
happens.
cases of assault or something, and it's just being very detrimental to society as a whole. What did you say?
Yeah. No, I didn't say anything. Sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But I just think that this isn't like the best choice that could have occurred in our country. I think it's a choice, and I think it's something that should be really reconsidered.
Hmm.
And it's been shown multiple times that like it's not the best choice
Yeah.
overall. So that should be the conclusion statement, and we hope that you have learned something from what we said, or given it some thought or some introspective. And thank you for listening to the 20% podcast. This is Aiden and James. Have a good
Yes.
one.
Thank you.